Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. So today, in this video, we are going to continue creating a CRM with a tool called DataButton. It's a no-code tool that will simply allow us to create a SaaS, a CRM, an online software without having to code. So, for me, in this explanation, I am simply trying to manipulate this artificial intelligence and in real time, I test with you, I show you how I manipulate it to get the result. So if this is the first time you are watching this video, be aware that there were 2 other videos created. So I leave you the link here to the first video. You should first follow the topic, understand how I created the specifications, and then reach this level. So now we are going to move a bit more further into the system to simply allow creating and resolving errors and being capable. In fact, to bring this intelligence so that it can create the internal pages for me, so that I will simply have the possibility of having a dashboard, a space to add contacts, to work. In fact, my CRM, in a way, everything you are seeing was created 100% by AI, which is connected to a database. And today, thanks to this system, it has given me the strength to imagine an idea and implement it. So, I thank you very much. Enjoy watching. I will leave you now to continue this third part of our CRM. So here we go. In fact, moving on to the third step. So of course, when I click here, you will find that there. So it gives me a brief summary, actually, of the description of this page. I have the possibility, of course, to provide more information. But if I come back here to my description, actually, on the authentication and profile page, I just asked that I want to work on updating company information like the name, address, logo, and simply allowing the management of login and password. So what I'm going to do now is simply ask it to start this task. And as you can see here, actually, we specified that I want it to be accessible only to people who are already authenticated. So only people who simply have a login and password. That's it, actually. And these people, once they are logged in, can access this page. So right now, it's working. It's actually developing based on this information. So we're going to give it a little time to create this page. Then we will simply try to test it. So we'll leave it for a few minutes until it's finished. Actually, the plan and execution. So he needs to provide you with the work plan here. He will start programming at the preview level. So he is currently doing that. In fact, he is programming, doing all the programming work. So we'll just let him calmly create this new page. So this is a new page that will be written to where I can identify and work the company's profile. Generally, it takes between 2 to 5 minutes for him to finish. We'll let him be, and afterwards we'll try to test the result and see if it meets our needs or not. Now, I see that he has finished creating the profile page. By the way, he just detailed a little bit of what he did. He allowed me to update the login with the password by connecting to the Firebase database. That's very interesting and also quite good here. I can add the company's name and logo. And also he tells me that it is saved directly in the back office. So, to test it, it's very simple. We will try to go here in overview to see if it's the page. There you go. The page has just been created, and we will try to click here on deploy and see the result. So here, I am logged in with a test account using a test email address, which is very interesting. I see that it has displayed this button here, which is profile. So for me to access this button, I absolutely had to be logged in. So I enter, and that's very good. So I can add the company name. As you can see here, the email address, I cannot change it, which is normal. So it's the account email address. And if I look here, I can simply update the login or password. So now we will just try to click here to actually give a name to the company. So here we will call it Dr. Will Do. And now we will try to add a logo. So from my computer, I will select this logo here. We will try to do it. Here I see that the logo has just been added. It was absolutely necessary. If I click on update, it must be done correctly. So now we need to test it. If it works very well, we can mark the step as completed. If it doesn't work, we will ask to correct the addition. So then I click on save. We will see truthfully if the information will be taken into account or not. So here I see that it's writing to me, update in progress. So either we wait a little bit, but normally it should be done quickly. So I can of course take a quick look at it. The database, so normally here, at the database level, this is actually the line of information. And if I go directly, so in the Firebase database, so here in the Firestore, normally I should actually find the information of the photo image. So up until now, I see that it hasn't been added yet. So as a result, there is only the addition of users. So I think there was actually a user who just tested and purchased. Since I am currently publishing the video online, there are people who are testing, but it still remains a test SaaS. And of course, after the training, we try to deactivate the application. The goal is to show a little bit of the state, then how to behave with this AI, and what to do if there is an error, or if there is something we would like to change, how to perform the diagnosis. So here, I come back here, there you go. I noticed here that it got stuck on the update. So what I'm going to do, I can make a print here. Look, so here I'm making a print of this part. I can put all this information there. I can come back here. So the first thing to do, I need to import this image. So he finished. Then, obviously, so you just have to be careful when I click on deploy here. So at first, I click on deploy, applications. So I do it to save time, to not wait for the deployment, and to quickly record the video to get to the point. But every time the system completes an update, it's very important to go here to deploy the application so that it does everything necessary to set up the environment. And so here, I click here to take a look, but the test, I do it with you in real time. So now we are going to try to update the logo. This is the one I'm interested in. We're going to click here and we'll try to see if it manages to update or not. So here, I actually see that it's still lagging, but it's not giving me a normal result. It should give me a direct result. Alright, so here, actually, I've made some modifications that I'd like to share with you, starting with the first modification. Here, I actually asked it to help me update the database information. So you have to be very careful. And I remind you that when I work with DataButton, there, in the chat, I can talk with their system, their model, their artificial intelligence, and it doesn't consume tokens. That is to say, I can ask it to give me advice, to explain if there are errors, to explain what I can do to improve my code. And so as a result, it will respond. As long as it doesn't develop, it will guide me. So here, I tell it. First, I want to start updating the company information before talking about the logo. And then it told me, be careful, you need to copy this code. It also showed me at the database level. It even said, works here. It tells me to click or go change the roles, rather the rules, meaning the laws that will be updated in the database. So let me explain. Here I am in my database. So look here, I am on the establishment store and you will see that there are the rules. So be careful. The rules, look. At the beginning, it was like this. As soon as I did the installation, it gave me the right to read and write this folder, which is document. And afterwards, if I come back here, you will see that it asked for much more authorization, especially in the company enterprise section. And so as a result, it gave me this code. So I simply copied and pasted this code and I clicked on publish. And thanks to that, we were able to simply update the company's information. And afterwards, I told him that very well, I can update the company's information, but regarding the logo, I cannot update it. Because when I try to upload the logo, it accepts it, it uploads it, but I don't see anything. And so as a result, it's as if the upload did not execute properly. So here, you will see that he explained to me that I would need storage. Look here. So here he tells me, be careful. Apart from the database, create the storage so that I can save the files inside. And indeed, he gave me this code. He told me to simply go to storage and copy this into rules. So what I did, if I go back here, so here on storage, I actually had to activate a storage account. So it's simple to activate. When you actually activate the account, I put here an account called Formula Blades. This one, in fact, I'm only charged if I actually use space. And the consumption is not expensive, as we mentioned. With these few dollars, between $2 and up to $5, you can go up to 1 gigabyte. but generally for an application to upload a logo like the SAS, less than $1 can be enough for a long duration, even a few years. So I simply selected this plan, since I know I won't be uploading a lot of images, and I was able to access the storage space. In the storage space, if I use it here, you will see when I took my storage, it provided the space and the rules section. Look here. The logo, in fact, when I uploaded it, you can see I just found the logo and saved it here in this database. Of course, this logo is only a few kilobytes, which is really very little. I can import files manually if I want, but for me, what's interesting is that it's installed here in Google Storage. And when I click on Rule, I simply copy-paste here. Here's the code that was communicated to me, saying that I copied it. I was able to update this information without any issues. And that's what makes the strength of this system. If, for example, I want to put the LLC, we will just modify the company name like this. If I want to update, as soon as I click on Update, it's done. It has been updated. I can simply use it. I should find the information as they like. We can change it here. We will upload here rather than here to upload the new file. And here, I just took a test logo like this. I'm going to open it. So now we just put it again. So look, we're going to update. There you go. It's not blocked. So as a result, it updated that. Look, if I refresh the page, I should see the new logo. So if I go into the database, then in the file, I should find in the campaign here, the new logo. There it is. It has just been saved. So everything is fine. And even if I go back here to File Store Database, you will see that here in my database, I will find a new line that must be created. There you go. This is the company, actually with the information. Here, this is the URL of the logo, and this is the name of the company. So, to recap, what's really interesting is that it was necessary to truly adapt a behavior of simply talking with this system. Because when we talk about it, it actually helps us understand the mistake that people often make. What is it? It's that they ask to change the code to make updates. The system will try to update the code, and then you deploy it, and you find that, for example, the recording still doesn't happen. You print something, and when you ask the question again, it will do the same thing. It will update the code. But if you ask it the question, you tell it, listen, I'm trying to record, and it's not working. According to you, what are the errors, or how can I fix this? What should I do? And at certain moments, it will develop. It will tell you to be careful in order to save the image. You needed to do this and that. And as a result, you will discover and actually update your database. And that is very, very important to me. Communicate well with the system. It's free. It will not actually charge you, because behind it, as we said, there is an LLM model behind it. As long as it doesn't touch the code, it won't change or update. There, you can really ask it a lot of technical questions, even visual ones, and get its opinion on even functionalities. And as a result, it will respond to you. It's as if you have access to ChatGPT, but here it's free, and especially here it is very focused on reasoning, logic and programming. So really it helps a lot. Even sometimes when you have an error message, before telling it, fix the error, you can copy the error and ask it, what is the source of this error? Or why do I have this error? And so it will provide you with explanations. So for me, this step I can mark it as, you see there, as done. If I go back here to my plan, you saw that step 3 is marked, and I can move on to the 4th step to delve a little deeper into my CRM, into the SAS, with much more advanced features. And so if I move on to step number 4, you will see here in this step, it will work on what we call the database and the database path. What does that mean? It means that here, in fact, it will ensure to develop what we call the different collections, the different rows in the database, so that when, for example, I try another day to sell the CRM, or simply put the CRM online to update contacts, each company with an account can have its own contacts. And this strength is what the system understood from my request. Of course, I can skip this step and not do it. If I know that the CRM, I will do it. I will work on it only myself. So consequently, at the database level, it will surely be with a single company, with a single access, with a login and a password. And then there aren't many contacts. But for me, I plan to work on the CRM for my company, and then why not? Resell it or rent out a space. And so consequently, I can always work with the same database, with the same software, And that's an advantage because then when I update the application, I improve it, it improves for everyone. And so consequently, there you go. So it's a technical or strategic choice from the start then. So when I tell him, okay, it works. So this update here, you will see that this is an update. In reality, I don't need to deploy to test because it's work that is done surely and solely on the database. So there we actually let it, there you go, define. The roles, it's about becoming the information. By the way, there you go. He actually asked me to copy this data and add it. So it helps to improve even more. Because apart from the company, he needs to put this information in the rules to be able to make entries later. So there, according to when we do a little reading, we are not going to intervene at the level of the rules. So he gives me a bit of a path. He tells me, for the company, there will be a name and a logo, but look here, at the contact level, here are the contact details, the name, the first name, the email, the phone, the job map. So there, he gives me at the score level, and that's a bit of what we put at the beginning. In fact, at the K-charge level, and so he asked me if, there you go, at the structure level, is it correct? And regarding the information, to start, can we begin with this? Of course, that's fine with us. So there I simply tell him, yes, it's correct. So there, as a result, when I give him the green light there, he will actually update the database. So there you go. Now he has control over the database and he can actually make his updates there. So there I'm trying to see what he is actually asking me for a game. I'm sure that now he will ask to add the permissions here. So there he tells me at the level of the store database, he needs to add his roles. So now we are going to do it. There you go for Matcher and Betty. So now he tells me, okay, so now we are going to do this. We are going to copy here. We are going to go back to our database here in the rules. Now we are going to control, we are going to erase this. We are going to add the new one, okay? We are going to publish. So there you go. He added this part. Contact actually, so there we did it. So for me, everything is fine. So there I tell him, yes, it is. We are going to mark it as done since we did it. So there you go. We have actually completed step 4 at 100%. And now we are able to move on to step 5 to go further towards the display. Now the contacts, and here are the dashboard updates and performing the functions. There you go, basic inside my CRM. So let's get started now. Step number 5 actually involves creating the dashboard. And there we have provided it. In fact, here are some pieces of information regarding data and information. Don't forget that here. In fact, you can actually add several visuals, actually several types of statistics. So we have the right to improve the description. Generally, in fact, we can just take this part, go to, for example, ChatGPT and ask it to give me a more advanced dashboard description. It's possible, then I paste it here. But for me, I actually wanted to work with the basic version, there you go, mainly to understand the handling of DataButton and to get the best result and know how to interact with this AI. So there, I tell it, let's go. So here I actually want to start the work. So you will see that here it will work on that. It will create new pages for me. So if I stay here, I should actually find a new page that is a dashboard. So everything related to the dashboard, everything that is, there you go. So there you go. So that's the name of the page. It's going to be a dashboard. Okay, so we'll actually give it a few minutes to finish creating it. Then we'll look at the visual and see if it suits us or not, if it's what we want or not. But generally, even the data, the information of this visual will not be displayed because it's normal. It will need to move on to the next step. Here we add the contacts, we add the scores and everything to be able to see a visual really with real data. But at least we will. In fact, we will actually test this, its creativity, and see a little bit of the layout, even the graphic and visual aspect of this dashboard. And well, it has just finished. I clicked on deploy and now we are going to see this together. It's very good. So he added the dashboard button. We'll click and very well, here is the dashboard. It's normal. The information in fact is not there because we haven't added any contacts yet, but that's interesting. It shows here the total number of contacts. There are new contacts over the last 7 days. The qualified leads, Kohoni, and there you go. So here it's a bit about the contacts by status, recent activity. So really here I think he has put a bit of the necessary information and all that. As you can see, it's from the first load case that I sent. I didn't want to inject other requirements, because for this one, I can simply come back here and just upload an image of a dashboard and tell him to copy that design-wise. So regarding everything design related, I remind you of my advice: leave the design for the end. That means first, create a functional system with the features. With the operational version 0, all the basic functions need to be there. At that point, you can come back to make an iteration. Design-wise, small features-wise, add the button. There you go. To the left, to the right, red color, orange color. All of that you can do gradually without any problem. So for me, I think I can actually mark this step as done. So there you go. That's very good. We've successfully completed the 5th step, as you can see. So now I can move on to the step where I want to develop the contact management. Here, the list that salespeople generally use, if they have a new contact, they will add it to the database. And subsequently, we will have the possibility, of course, to allow the contacts on the fields. I can give the administrator the ability to add specific fields for the contacts as it develops. And then to add the AI that will provide me with the scoring. And thanks to that, of course, the dashboard will display the people who are hot, the prospects, where I can automatically convert them to green clients. And above all, don't forget, in generation, there is what we call strategy generation. That is to say, for each contact, the salesperson can click and see a little bit of the current strategy regarding that client. What can I do for them right away? Do I send an email saying, oh, do I call them? Do I make them an offer? And all of this thanks to the data and information we will add to the contact. So as a result, we will move on to step 6, which is a very important step where the core of my application lies. All right, let's go. So the same thing. I come here so I can, of course, take a little look what it offers me in the details here. So this is the basic description. So here, in fact, it will work. In fact, the display of the contact, you will see that here. It also asks to do the filtering and to handle the export. Here are actually the different ones. So here, in fact, we didn't see that he detailed what the exact fields are. But remember, in the restructuring of the database, he declared the contact with the name, the first name, the basic information. So as a result, he should know on his own the fields he will create for me. But that doesn't prevent you if you want to detail further, and that's what I'm telling you. As you go through each step, it's important to have ChatGPT right next to you and refine. The more you provide better information, and clearly be careful, it should not be contradictory information compared to the first dashboard. And actually in the first one, key charge as well, because it has a logical sequence in its storage. So everything that is session, everything that is question that we have done from key charge up to now, they are recorded in this system. So that's why you have to be very careful not to switch immediately. So we had to go really slowly. So now I'm simply going to start. This step, you'll see it's currently working. So there. So there you go. So there, we're going to give it a little bit of time. So step 6, because I'm looking here. Actually, there you go. I have to go down. So there you go. So there, we're going there. It's in mode, actually working. That's very good. So that's it. Actually, the older version needed to be here, so we're going to leave it for a few minutes while it displays. Then we'll see and test. We'll deploy to get a little preview of what it has done, and we'll do. So actually, he gave me some instructions. He told me, listen, I've added the contact link in the header, and he's asking me to check if the link displays correctly or not, and that it will redirect you to the new page, which is contact management. So he tells me that for now, the page will just display a title and a text indicating that the table will be added. So the next step, he will continue developing, but it's very interesting actually. He's asking me to test and see if the display works. And I really like this method. I don't want to wait for 5 minutes. On the contrary, I want, as he does it, modifications, and I'm sure there are no errors, so then I let them deploy. Once he finishes the deployment, we will test to see if this step of just the creation of the page has been added or not. Once that's done, I can of course ask him to continue. By the way, I can come here. We will see the contact page there. It has just been added. That's very interesting. So we will wait for the deployment, which is still in progress. Then we will see if the page has been added or not to give the green light to continue. So here we go. We will click here to open the new page. Very well, so here we have the contact section. We will indeed click, so it simply redirects to this page. So then I will tell him it's okay, it's good. Wait, I will say that it's good. And then we will tell him to continue. So we will simply give them time to continue developing. Actually, I would need to see the table here, see the contact information to be able, of course, to add, modify, export it. Some manipulations on this basis. And there you go. We have just finished this part. So this is a part where we tried to make some progress in the internal pages we were able to create. In fact, here is the contact. So we will try to create another part where I will show you step by step, of course, how I can develop the other pages and improve the functionality. So if you're eager to create the next step, simply write in the comments part 4 so I can upload the 4th part for you. Thank you.